Good morning and welcome to another video by Russia UK. Right, guys, you know for a fact, I've been working in this industry, 27 years now. And I could tell you when I first started with the base, they had a simple fare chart, basically said £3 for the first mile. That's the starting base rate. And then you was a simple pound a mile and you worked out how much you earned. Now, I want to give you, well, you're looking at it now actually, a job that was given to me by Bolt, right? Now, Bolt over the last 3, 4, 5 months, their prices are the lowest this industry has ever witnessed. I can't remember this back in 1996. I've done a bit of research and it goes back into the 80s. Back into the 80s, this kind of prices existed. But let's not, let's say if you wanted to work out, by the way, if you're thinking how much this works out, we're doing a job here that's from Birmingham Airport going to Nottingham, 53 miles, and they're going to pay you £42 minus £5 toll. So you got to minus that becomes 37 miles for £37 for 53 miles, 70p a mile if you want to work that out. Now, let's not just do comparison this way, actually. Let's do apples for apples, because Bolt will argue that, when you dropped in Nottingham, you could have worked there, making it a lot better. You could argue, I suppose, back, what about jobs that are given that an area where Bolt doesn't operate? The price doesn't automatically increase there. So, it's a bit of a really bad job, really, pricing of it. Now, Bolt is good in one way, actually, because it does let you work in certain places where, Uber doesn't. So, but Bolt is limited to that, and they got limited, restricted. So, for instance, if you're a Birmingham driver, you dropped in London, you could put your Bolt app on and you could work there for 2 days, or 24 hours, whatever it is. I'm not sure if that's the same thing for TfL drivers, but you could let me know. But I mean, the thing is here, it is quite important, and this kind of jobs really illustrates how hard money making in the private hire industry is, and he illustrates that private hire drivers in the past, they made roughly the same amount of money. Because they were driving the same speed as we do now. They probably were getting a bit more less jobs, but they were getting jobs as well. But when it comes to expense, this is where you actually made money at that time, which you're not going to see being made today. A pound, a litre back in the 80s was 40p a litre. Now it's about £1.40. That's an increase of 300%. An average house back in the 80s were £20,000. Now it's around the 250,000-300,000 mark, an average house. So you could see how much that is a difference from 20,000 to 300,000. A car, you've seen, guys, I don't need to tell you all this. You've seen cars on the road that are probably worth more than £40,000. And you got drivers driving around, with a £3.80 jobs. This is the comparison, and this is the reason this job, is, I don't know, it's gone down the drain, really. But so the question you could say to yourself, can Bolt still get away, by paying these kind of silly prices? And the answer is, I'm afraid, yes, they can. Uber done a survey, remember, I keep telling you about this survey. They said that drivers are willing to work up to 60p a mile. So this job you're looking at now, that will be gone. And how this industry works for operators now is a tactic called scarcity. Basically put, if there's more drivers than jobs, drivers will basically, do any job at any price, because jobs are limited. It's scarcity. And you'll see these compounded, I suppose, with fingers crossed, this might happen. Wolverhampton Council granting drivers a dual operators status. So that will mean another 40,000 drivers coming out, giving these operators more scarcity. And, these operators will thrive at this now. But, at the same time, this could backfire. Um, and and for people like, Bolt, I suppose, operators like Bolt, who just operate on a one-trick ponies, where Uber has various other revenue stream. For all of you drivers with multi-app, you can confirm that there's jobs you refuse to do because the prices are low and the same job appears on a rival app. Now, I don't think many of them realize that drivers refusing jobs gives their rival a chance for that job. You know, it does happen. It comes back the same job. I mean, I don't know if these operators realize that. Anyway, I know some of you are saying, Abdul, how do you know all this? How do you know Bolt is charging 1980s prices? Well, I'll tell you. Look, what is this? This is Bolt's office, right? On Long Lane in London. For most of you, you'll go there and say, oh, look, lovely phone boxes. But they're not phone boxes, guys. These are Doctor Who's travel telephone boxes. They travel back in time. And he goes back to the 1980s. As soon as the Bolt management come through here, they jump into that and it takes them back. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye now.